Boston Celtics. The Boston Celtics are an American professional basketball team based in Boston, playing in the National Basketball Association, NBA, as part of the Atlantic Division of the Eastern Conference. Established in 1946, they are known for their success and hold the records for most NBA championships won and most recorded wins of any NBA franchise. The Celtics' rise to dominance began in the late 1950s when they acquired Bill Russell in 1956, becoming the cornerstone of the Celtics dynasty. They won their first NBA championship in 1957 and have since won 8 consecutive championships from 1959 to 1966. The Celtics entered a period of rebuilding after Russell retired in 1969. In the mid-1970s, they became contenders again, winning championships in 1974 and 1976 under Tom Heinsohn's leadership. In the 1980s, they returned to dominance with the Big Three of Larry Bird, Kevin McHale, and Robert Parrish, winning championships in 1981, 1984, and 1986. After another period of rebuilding, the Celtics assembled a new Big Three around team captain Paul Pierce, acquiring Ray Allen and Kevin Garnett in the 2007 off-season. Under Doc Rivers, the team defeated the Lakers to win their 17th championship in 2008, but lost to them in the 2010 finals. The Celtics have a notable rivalry with the Los Angeles Lakers, who are second in NBA history with 17 championships. The team has played the Lakers 12 times in the NBA Finals and defeated them 9 times. Franchise history. The Boston Celtics were formed in 1946 as a team in the Basketball Association of America. They made their first playoff appearance in 1948, but lost to the Chicago Stags in 1949. The team later became part of the National Basketball Association in 1949. In 1950, the Celtics signed Chuck Cooper, becoming the first NBA franchise to draft a black player. From 1950 to 1958, the Celtics faced struggles until the hiring of coach Red Auerbach. Auerbach managed practices, scouting, and road trips without assistance. Bob Cousy, initially refused to draft from Holy Cross, joined the Celtics in a dispersal draft. Auerbach made a trade after the 1955-56 season, sending Ed Macauley to the St. Louis Hawks and Cliff Hagan for the second overall pick. He then selected University of San Francisco center Bill Russell and acquired Holy Cross standout Tom Heinsohn. Together, they helped build the champion Celtics for over a decade. The Celtics advanced to the 1957 NBA Finals, defeating the St. Louis Hawks in 7 games. The Celtics, a team that won the NBA championship 8 times in a row from 1958 to 1969, began a decade-long dynasty after the acquisition of K.C. Jones in 1958. In 1959, they won the championship, marking the first time the Celtics had an all-African-American starting lineup. This marked the beginning of an intense rivalry between the Celtics and the Lakers. After Auerbach retired as coach in 1965-66, Russell took over as player coach, becoming the first African-American coach in any U.S. pro sport. However, the Celtics' string of NBA titles ended when they lost to the Philadelphia 76ers in the 1967 Eastern Conference Finals. The team managed 2 more championships in 1968 and 1969, defeating the Los Angeles Lakers each time. Russell retired after the 1969 season, effectively ending the Celtics dynasty. In 1969-78, the Celtics faced a rebuilding phase, with their first losing record since 1949-50. However, with the acquisition of Paul Silas and future Hall of Famers Dave Cowens and Joe White, the team became dominant again. After losing in the Eastern Conference Finals in 1972, the Celtics regrouped and posted an excellent 68-14 regular season record in 1973. However, they were upset in 7 games by the New York Knicks in the conference finals. In 1976, the Celtics won another championship, defeating the Phoenix Suns in 6 games. After the 1976 championship and a playoff appearance in 1977, Boston went into another rebuilding phase. In the 1978 NBA draft, the Celtics drafted Cedric Maxwell, who showed promise. Auerbach's job became even tougher following the 1977-78 season, where the team went 32-50. In 1978, the Celtics traded franchises with Buffalo Braves owner John Y. Brown Jr., leading to a six-player trade between the two teams. The 1979-1992 era of the Celtics was marked by significant changes. The relationship between Brown and Auerbach worsened when Brown acquired Bob McAdoo in February 1979, without consulting Auerbach. This led to Auerbach almost leaving Boston to take a job with the New York Knicks. In 1979, the Celtics were sold to Harry Mangurian, who had public support for him. Larry Bird debuted for the Celtics during the 1979-80 season, and Auerbach made several moves to bring the team back to prominence. He traded McAdoo to the Detroit Pistons for defensive specialist M.L. Carr and 2 first-round picks in the 1980 NBA draft. Bird won NBA Rookie of the Year honors, and the team went 61-21, a 32-game improvement from the previous season. However, the Celtics fell to the Philadelphia 76ers in the Eastern Conference Finals. After the season, Auerbach completed one of the most lopsided trades in NBA history, garnering a pair of future Hall of Famers for a pair of first-round draft picks. He sent the team's 2 first-round draft picks to the Golden State Warriors for both center Robert Parrish and the Warriors' first-round pick. He then used the pick the Celtics obtained from Golden State to select University of Minnesota power forward Kevin McHale. The Celtics went 62-20 under coach Bill Fitch in 1980-81, losing in 7 games in the playoffs. In 1983, they were swept in the playoffs by the Milwaukee Bucks, and Auerbach officially retired as general manager but maintained the position of team president. In 1985, the Lakers and Celtics met again in the finals, with the Lakers winning. The Celtics acquired Bill Walton from the Los Angeles Clippers in exchange for Cedric Maxwell. Len Bias, considered the best passing center in NBA history, died 36 hours later of an accidental cocaine overdose. In 1988, the Celtics lost in 6 games to the Detroit Pistons in the Eastern Conference Finals. Bird returned in 1989-90 and led the Celtics to a 52-30 record. In the playoffs, the Celtics collapsed after winning the first 2 games in a best-of-5 series against the New York Knicks. Under Ford's leadership, the Celtics improved to 56-26 in 1990-91, recapturing the Atlantic Division title. The Celtics faced a decline in the 1993-1998 season due to the loss of Bird and the aging of their veteran stars. The team's hopes were centered on 26-year-old Reggie Lewis, who fainted during a series loss by the Charlotte Hornets. Lewis died of a heart attack while shooting baskets at Brandeis University during the off-season. The Celtics honored his memory by retiring his number 35. In 1994, the Celtics hired former player and legendary towel-waving cheerleader M.L. Carr as the team's new vice president of basketball operations. Working alongside general manager Jan Vogt, Carr selected University of North Carolina star Eric Montrose with Boston's first-round pick in the 1994 NBA draft. Montrose failed to develop and was eventually traded. The Celtics made the playoffs but lost to the heavily favored Orlando Magic in 4 games. In 1995, the Celtics moved from the Boston Garden to the Fleet Center, later TD Bank North, then TD Garden, and fired Chris Ford. After drafting Providence College star Eric Williams, the team struggled to a 33-49 record. In 1996-97, the Celtics lost a franchise record 67 games, setting an unwanted NBA record. Rick Pitino was hired as the team's president, director of basketball operations, and head coach, reportedly on a $70 million 10-year contract. Vogt resigned on May 7, 1997. The Celtics received the 3rd and 6th draft picks in the 1997 NBA draft and used the picks to select a brand new backcourt through Chauncey Billups and Ron Mercer. The young team that lost 67 games the year before was dismantled, with David Wesley, Dino Rodder, and Rick Fox being let go. Walter McCarty was also acquired in a trade with the Knicks. The 1998 to 2013 Paul Pierce era saw the Celtics enter the 2001-02 season with low expectations. The team's success in the latter stages of 2001 was largely forgotten, and critics were surprised when the team, along with the New Jersey Nets, surged to the top of the Atlantic Division ahead of the Philadelphia 76ers. In 2003, the Celtics were sold to Boston Basketball Partners LLC, led by H. Irving Grausbeck, Wycliffe Grausbeck, and Steve Pagliuca. The team made it back to the playoffs, but was swept by the Nets in the second round. Before their elimination, the team hired former Celtics guard Danny Ainge as general manager, moving Chris Wallace to another position. Ainge believed the team had reached its peak and sent Antoine Walker to the Dallas Mavericks in exchange for Raef LaFrentz, Chris Mills, Yuri Welsh, and a first-round pick in 2004. The Celtics made the playoffs, but was swept in the first round by the Indiana Pacers. Under new coach Doc Rivers, the Celtics had a young team with young players like Al Jefferson, Delonte West, and Tony Allen in the 2004 draft. They went 45-37 and won their first Atlantic Division title since 1991-92, with Antoine Walker in mid-season. However, the Celtics missed the playoffs with a 33-49 record, largely due to a young roster and constant roster shuffling. The Celtics continued to rebuild in the 2006 NBA draft, selecting Kentucky point guard Rajon Rondo and adding center Leon Powell. The 2006-2007 season was gloomy, with the Celtics going 2-22 and losing Pierce to injury. The team compiled a record of 24-58, second worst in the NBA, including an 18-game losing streak. In 2007, the Celtics made significant moves to return to prominence, trading number 5 pick Jeff Green, Wally Szczerbiak, and Delonte West to Seattle for perennial All-Star Ray Allen and Seattle's second-round pick, which the team used to select LSU's Glenn "Big Baby" Davis. The Celtics then traded Ryan Gomez, Gerald Green, Al Jefferson, Theo Ratliff, Sebastian Telfair, and a first-round draft pick to the Timberwolves in exchange for superstar power forward Kevin Garnett. These moves created a new Big Three of Pierce, Allen, and Garnett. In the 2007-08 season, the Celtics completed the largest single-season turnaround in NBA history, going 66-16 in the regular season. However, they struggled in the early rounds of the playoffs, needing 7 games to defeat the Atlanta Hawks in the first round and another 7 to defeat the Cleveland Cavaliers in the conference semifinals. The Celtics then beat the Detroit Pistons in 6 games in the Eastern Conference Finals, winning 2 road games. For the 11th time in league history, the Celtics faced off in the NBA Finals, winning Game 1 at home 98-88, fueled by strong play by Garnett and Pierce's dramatic comeback from a second-half knee injury. In 2009, with the return of Garnett from injury and the additions of Rasheed Wallace and Marquis Daniels, the Celtics started the season 23-5 and had the best record in NBA history. However, Doc Rivers decided to lessen his aging stars' minutes to keep them fresh for the playoffs, resulting in an even 27-27 record and finishing the 2009-10 regular season with a 50-32 record. The 2010-11 season still provided 3 landmarks. The Celtics became the second team to reach 3,000 victories, Paul Pierce became the third Celtic to score 20,000 points, and Ray Allen broke the NBA record for most career three-pointers. The Celtics made the playoffs as the 4th seed in the Eastern Conference, facing the Atlanta Hawks in the first round, the 76ers in the conference semifinals, and the Miami Heat in the Eastern Conference Finals. In the 2012 off-season, the Celtics had only 6 players under contract, with Kevin Garnett signed to a new contract and Ray Allen signing with the Miami Heat for less money than the Celtics offered. In the 2013-2016 NBA season, the Celtics faced several rebuilding years, including the termination of head coach Doc Rivers' contract, the trade of Pierce, Garnett, Jason Terry, and DJ White to the Brooklyn Nets, and the signing of Rajon Rondo as the 15th team captain. Brad Stevens replaced Rivers as head coach, and the team continued to develop its youth movement. The 2013-14 season marked the Celtics' first missed playoffs since the Big Three. The 2014-15 season saw several roster moves, with Rondo and Dwight Powell traded to the Dallas Mavericks. The team finished the season with a 40-42 record, earning the 7th seed in the Eastern Conference playoffs. The Celtics were swept by the Cleveland Cavaliers in the first round. In the 2015 NBA Draft, Boston selected Terry Rozier, R.J. Hunter, Jordan Mickey, and Marcus Thornton. The Celtics signed forward Amir Johnson and traded Gerald Wallace and Chris Babb in exchange for Warriors forward David Lee. The 2015-16 NBA season ended with a 48-34 record, earning the 5th seed in the Eastern Conference. The Celtics played the 4th-seeded Atlanta Hawks in the first round of the playoffs, but lost the series 4-2 to the Hawks, ending their season. The 2016 present era of the Celtics was marked by the selection of Jaylen Brown with the 3rd pick and Al Horford with the 4th pick. The team finished the 2016-17 season with a 53-29 record, clinching the top seed in the Eastern Conference. However, a hip injury ended Thomas's playoff run in Game 2 of the Eastern Conference Finals, and the Celtics eventually lost to the Cavaliers in 5 games. In the 2017 NBA Draft, the Celtics won the draft lottery, earning them the 1st pick. They were projected to select freshman guard Markelle Fultz, but the pick was subsequently traded to the Philadelphia 76ers in exchange for the 3rd pick in the 2017 draft and future picks. The Celtics used the 3rd pick to select freshman forward Jason Tatum. During the off-season, only 4 Celtics players remained from the 2016-17 team, with Marcus Smart being the longest-tenured Celtic from the 2014 NBA Draft. Hayward suffered a fractured tibia and dislocated ankle in his left leg, causing him to be ruled out for the rest of the regular season. Despite this, the Celtics went on a 16-game winning streak, which also went down as the 4th longest winning streak in the team's history. The Celtics finished the 2018-19 season with a 49-33 record, but their performance and chances for the championship were questioned after a 10-10 record after the first 20 games. In the 2019 playoffs, the Celtics swept the Indiana Pacers in the first round and lost to the Milwaukee Bucks in 5 games. Following the suspension of the 2019-20 NBA season, the Celtics were one of the 22 teams invited to the NBA bubble to participate in the final 8 games of the regular season. In the 2020 playoffs, the Celtics swept the Philadelphia 76ers in the first round, beat the Toronto Raptors in a 7-game series, and fell to the Miami Heat in 6 games. In June 2021, the Celtics appointed Brad Stevens as president of basketball operations, replacing Danny Ainge. Stevens made his first transaction in his new role, trading away Kemba Walker and a 2025 second-round pick in exchange for Horford, Moses Brown, and a 2023 second-round pick. Ime Udoka was hired as head coach, and Tatum made his 3rd All-Star appearance at the 2022 NBA All-Star Game. The Celtics qualified for the 2022 NBA playoffs as the 2nd seed in the Eastern Conference, with a 51-31 record. They faced the Milwaukee Bucks and Miami Heat in the Eastern Conference semifinals and finals, earning their first finals appearance since 2010. In September, Udoka was suspended for the entire 2022-23 season for engaging in an improper intimate relationship with a female staffer. Assistant coach Joe Mazzulla replaced Udoka as interim head coach. In February 2023, Mazzulla was named the team's permanent head coach after leading the Celtics to a league-best 42-17 record at the NBA All-Star break. The Celtics finished the 2023-24 regular season with the best record in the NBA, securing a 64-18 record. They entered the 2024 NBA playoffs, defeating the Miami Heat in the first round, Cleveland Cavaliers in the East semifinals, and Indiana Pacers in the Eastern Conference Finals. Rivalries. The Boston Celtics and Los Angeles Lakers are 2 of the most storied NBA franchises, with a record 12 meetings in the NBA Finals. The Celtics have won the first 8 finals meetings, while the Lakers have won 3 of the last 4. The rivalry was less intense after the retirements of Magic Johnson and Larry Bird in the early 1990s. In 2008, the Celtics won the series in 6 games, and in 2010, the Lakers won in 7 games. The Celtics lead the Lakers with 18 titles, accounting for almost half of the 78 championships in NBA history. The rivalry between the Celtics and the Atlanta Hawks has lasted for over 5 decades, with the Celtics winning 10 of 12 series against the Hawks, including 3 out of 4 NBA Finals. The rivalry intensified in 2016 with Hawks All-Star center Al Horford joining the Celtics. The Boston Celtics and New Jersey Nets were once rivals due to their respective locations and star power. The rivalry began in the 2002 Eastern Conference Finals, with the Celtics claiming Martin was a fake, tough guy. Tensions spilled into the stands, with fans berating Kidd and his family. Bill Walton described the rivalry as the beginning of the next great NBA rivalry. In 2012, the Nets returned to New York, and an altercation occurred on the court, leading to the ejection of Rajon Rondo, Gerald Wallace, and Chris Humphries. The rivalry appeared to be cooled off by the June 2013 blockbuster trade that dealt Celtics stars Garnett and Paul Pierce to the Nets in exchange for Wallace, Humphries, and others. The rivalry between the Celtics and Detroit Pistons peaked in the 1980s, featuring players like Larry Bird, Kevin McHale, Robert Parrish, Isaiah Thomas, Bill Laimbeer, Dennis Rodman, and Joe Dumars. The teams met in the NBA playoffs 5 times from 1985 to 1991, with the Celtics winning in 1985 and 1987, and the Pistons coming out on top. In 2008, the Celtics defeated the Pistons in 6 games to advance to the NBA Finals, where they also beat the Lakers. The Celtics and New York Knicks are 2 rival teams in the NBA's Atlantic Division. Both teams have played 512 games during the regular season, with the Celtics winning 276 times. In the playoffs, they have faced each other 61 times, with the Celtics winning 34 times. The Philadelphia 76ers are the Celtics' biggest rival in the Eastern Conference, having played in 22 series, with the Celtics winning 15. The rivalry reached its peak when Bill Russell and Wilt Chamberlain played each other from 1965 to 1968, resulting in the Celtics not winning every NBA Finals series in the 1960s. The Celtics and Washington Wizards have been in a rivalry since 1984, with the rivalry intensifying during the 2015-16 season. The rivalry began when Celtics were trying to sign Al Horford, and Crowder emphasized that the Celtics should sign with them rather than Washington. In their first meeting of the 2016-17 season, Wall hit Marcus Smart in the backcourt, leading to a flagrant 2 foul and ejection. The next meeting, the Celtics won 117-108, but after the game, Crowder tried to jab his finger at Wall's nose, and Wall tried to fight back with a slap. Police officers had to step in to separate the 2 teams, and Otto Porter called the Celtics dirty. In their next game, the Wizards wore all black, aiming to resemble a funeral attire, and defeated the Celtics 123-108. In the 2017 playoffs, Markieff Morris landed on Horford's ankle, causing a 123-111 loss. In Game 2, Morris retaliated by grabbing Horford by the waist and pushing him into the seats. In Game 3, Kelly Olynyk set a hard screen on Kelly Oubre, causing him to drop to the floor and pushed him down onto the floor. Oubre was assessed a flagrant 2 foul and was ejected and suspended for Game 4. The rivalry has since dissipated as the Celtics retool their roster, but their matchups are still seen as significant as they played on Christmas in 2017. The Boston Celtics and Miami Heat have a long-standing rivalry, with the Celtics featuring star trios Ray Allen, Kevin Garnett, and Paul Pierce. The teams first met in the 2010 NBA playoffs, where Boston won in 5 games. In the 2012 Eastern Conference Finals, Miami won in 5 games to advance to the NBA Finals. In the 2020 NBA bubble, Miami won in 6 games to prevent Boston from meeting Los Angeles Lakers. In the 2022 Eastern Conference Finals, Boston beat Miami in 7 games, their first win since 2010. In the 2023 Eastern Conference Finals, Miami won 3 games to send the series to 7 games, but Miami won to avoid blowing a 3-0 lead. In the 2024 first round, Boston beat Miami in 5 games. Logos and uniforms. The Boston Celtics logo features a leprechaun spinning a basketball, named Lucky, designed by Zong Auerbach. The logo was initially green, white, and black until it was full color for the 1996-97 season, marking the club's 50th anniversary. Alternative logos include a white shamrock with the letters Celtics wrapped in a green circle, which has been used since the 1998-99 season. The Celtics have worn green uniforms on the road and white uniforms at home. The team made several adjustments to their uniforms over time, including switching from serif to sans serif block lettering in 1968, adding names in 1972, and incorporating the 3-leaf shamrock logo in 1998. In 2017, Nike eliminated the home and away uniform designations, making the white Celtics the association uniforms and the green uniforms the icon uniforms. In 2017, the Celtics signed a multi-year deal with General Electric, becoming the exclusive data and analytics partner for the team. This was the first time a corporate logo was placed on game uniforms. In November 2020, the Celtics signed a multi-year deal with Vistaprint, and in July 2024, Amica Mutual Insurance became the team's jersey sponsor. Alternate uniforms include alternate green uniforms with black lettering and trim featuring the word Boston on the front side, and a grey uniform set called Parquet Pride. For 2017 and beyond, the Celtics will wear black statement uniforms, featuring the Air Jordan brand logo, a feature previously exclusive to the Charlotte Hornets uniforms. The Celtics have worn special uniforms since 2006, with the first being a modified version of their regular green uniforms with gold and white trim and the city name in front. They have also worn special edition Christmas Day uniforms since 2008 to 2009, with the first 4 games featuring the NBA logo inside a snowflake. In 2017, the Celtics wore special edition City uniforms designed by Nike, featuring a pattern of parquet floor, green shamrock with white trim on the left leg, green letters with white trim, red Auerbach signature near the uniform tag, and a portion of the 2008 championship banner on the beltline. For the 2018-19 season, the Celtics wore white City uniforms with green letters and shamrocks trimmed in gold, with red Auerbach signature near the uniform tag and a gold-trimmed alternate Celtics logo on the beltline. An earned edition uniform was exclusive to the 16 teams that made the 2018 NBA playoffs. The 2021-22 season featured a mix of previous uniform designs, with a green lettering with white drop shadows, a nod to the 1949 uniform design. The 2022-23 City uniform served as a memorial to Bill Russell, featuring dark green with metallic gold and black accents. The Celtics wordmark inspired by the Slade's Bar and Grill restaurant once owned by Russell, and 11 gold diamonds on each side commemorating each of Russell's championships. The 2023-24 season featured a white-based design featuring dark green letters and brown trim in reference to traditional makers' marks from Boston's history of furniture makers, along with wood grain accents to reference the peach baskets first used in the game. The Celtics unveiled an alternate court specific to the 2023 NBA in-season tournament, featuring a mostly green-painted maple court with a brown strip along the free-throw lanes. The Celtics have a long history of wearing black sneakers, a tradition started by their patriarch Red Auerbach, who disliked the dirty appearance of white sneakers. The team has also worn a commemorative black band on the left shoulder strap of the jersey 13 times, honoring deceased members of the Celtics family. In the 2019-20 season, the Celtics wore a black band in honor of former NBA Commissioner David Stern and former Los Angeles Lakers star Kobe Bryant. In the 2022-23 season, the Celtics joined the rest of the NBA in wearing the black number 6 patch in memory of Bill Russell. The Celtics have also worn white sneakers since the 2003-2004 season, but have since returned to black sneakers due to the difficulty of producing the right shade of Celtic green. In the 2008-2009 season, They wore white sneakers with green and gold accents while wearing their St. Patrick's Day jerseys on the road. Since the 2009-10 season, the NBA relaxed its rules on specified sneaker colors, and Celtics players now wear custom-made and personalized sneakers at home and on the road. The Celtics were the only team to wear warm-up jackets with player names on the back, which was dominant in most NBA warm-up jackets during the 1980s. However, the practice was discontinued after the 2011-12 season in favor of a templated jacket design common to all 30 teams. Television and radio. NBC Sports Boston is the Boston Celtics' main television outlet, having aired its games since 1981, when the station was known as Prism New England. In 1983, it rebranded as Sports Channel New England. Like all the other Sports Channel networks, the New England channel was rebranded as Fox Sports New England when former owner Cablevision entered into a partnership with Liberty Media and News Corporation in 1998. Comcast purchased Cablevision's original network stake in 2001, then acquired the remaining stake in what was now FSN New England in 2007, and rebranded the network as Comcast Sportsnet New England. In 2017, all CSN networks, including CSN New England, were renamed as NBC Sports Regional Networks in reference to Comcast's current ownership of NBC Universal. Mike Gorman was the longtime local play-by-play announcer for the team from the 1980s until the 2023-24 season, with former Celtics player Brian Scalabrine serving as analyst. All Celtics games are heard on radio through Beasley Broadcast Group's WBZ-FM 98.5, otherwise branded as the Sports Hub, with play-by-play from Sean Grande and color commentary from Cedric Maxwell, a deal in place since the 2013-14 season. It is carried on stations in 5 of the 6 New England states via the Boston Celtics radio network.